Alright, let's dive into something that's got the Marvel fandom buzzing, X-Men 97 Season 2 and the emotional rollercoaster that is Gambit and Rogue's reunion. But before we get into it, let me just say, this isn't your typical superhero comeback story. It's darker, more complex, and honestly, way more fascinating than I expected. So, buckle up. First off, the hook, Gambit's back, but not in the way anyone saw coming. Remember when he died in Season 1? Heartbreaking, right? Well, X-Men 97 doesn't just bring him back, it transforms him into Death, one of Apocalypse's horsemen. And here's where it gets wild, he's still Gambit, but twisted. The charm, the voice, the love for Rogue, it's all there, but now it's laced with this eerie darkness. Personally, I think this is what makes the reunion so compelling. It's not just about getting the band back together, it's about Rogue facing a version of the man she loves that's both familiar and terrifying. What many people don't realize is how this setup flips the typical lost love returns trope on its head. Usually, the hero comes back brainwashed or memory wiped, and it's up to the partner to jog their memory. But here, Gambit remembers everything. He's fully aware of who he is, who Rogue is, and what they mean to each other. The problem? He's now a villain, and his love for her has become this twisted obsession. It's like the show is asking, what happens when love isn't enough to save someone? What if it's the very thing that makes them dangerous? One thing that immediately stands out is the symbolism in their reunion scene. When Gambit tells Rogue, life does flash before our eyes when we die, and when I died, all I saw was you, it's gut-wrenching. Here's a guy who's literally come back from the dead, and his first thought is still her. But the kicker? He's not just declaring his love, he's proposing a dark bargain. He wants to make Rogue immortal, to bind them together forever. From my perspective, this isn't just a romantic gesture, it's a test of Rogue's morals. Does she love him enough to embrace the darkness, or will she stay true to the hero she knows he once was? What makes this really interesting is how the show weaves in the broader mythology of the X-Men universe. Gambit's plan involves summoning the X-Ternal, this ancient mutant tied to Apocalypse's past. It's not just about him and Rogue, it's about power, betrayal, and the cycle of violence that's haunted the X-Men for generations. If you take a step back and think about it, Gambit's transformation into Death is almost poetic. He's become the very thing he fought against, all in the name of love. And that raises a deeper question, is love a force for good, or can it corrupt just as easily as any other power? A detail I find fascinating is how Rogue's character is handled in all of this. She's not just the damsel in distress waiting for her hero to return. She's conflicted, torn between her love for Gambit and her loyalty to the X-Men. When she initially agrees to his proposal, it's not because she's weak, it's because she's desperate to hold on to him. But the moment she sees him kill the X-Ternal, something snaps. She realizes this isn't the man she fell for. What this really suggests is that love isn't blind, it's discerning. Rogue's arc here is about recognizing when to let go, even if it breaks your heart. Now, let's talk about the setup for the Season 2 finale. With Apocalypse's soul still lurking inside Gambit, the stakes are higher than ever. The X-Men are divided, X-Force is teaming up with X-Factor, and Rogue is the wild card. Will she be the one to save Gambit, or will she have to destroy him to stop Apocalypse? Personally, I think the show is setting up a tragic choice, one that will define Rogue's character for seasons to come. What many people don't realize is that this isn't just a story about love, it's a story about sacrifice, identity, and the cost of redemption. In my opinion, X-Men 97 has done something truly special with Gambit and Rogue's reunion. It's not just fan service, it's a deep exploration of what it means to love someone, even when they've become something unrecognizable. If you take a step back and think about it, this storyline is a microcosm of the entire X-Men ethos, fighting for what's right, even when it hurts. And that's why this reunion isn't just a moment, it's a turning point for the series. So, here's my closing thought, what would you do if the person you loved came back changed, not just physically, but morally? Would you try to save them, or would you let them go? That's the question X-Men 97 leaves us with, and honestly, I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you Team Gambit, Team Rogue, or just here for the chaos. Either way, this is one reunion you won't forget.